A taxi is a useful means of transportation in many ways. While public transportation like buses and subways are cheap, you have to travel to a designated bus stop or station at a scheduled time. In particular, since their operating hours are fixed, their use is limited in the late-night hours after midnight. Of course, Seoul's bus system has dedicated late-night routes, sometimes called owl buses, but they also have the disadvantage of having limited operating areas. In such cases, taxis prove their worth as a very useful mode of transport. A taxi is a vehicle that can take passengers to their desired destination anywhere there is a road. This service began with the popularization of automobiles and continues to this day. The first taxis to operate in Korea were two American-made Ford Model T cars, which a wealthy Seoul resident and two Japanese individuals brought in 1912. They were rented out on an hourly basis within Seoul. Unlike today's taxis, the service at that time was considered to be on par with a limousine service. The fares were extremely high. A one-way trip from what is now Gwangju Metropolitan City to Mokpo City, about 89 kilometers, cost 18 won, and a one-way trip from Jeonju City to Iksan City, about 28 kilometers, was 2 won. Considering that the price of 60 kilograms of rice was about 6 to 7 won at the time, the fares were exorbitant. Because of this, only the wealthy or relatively affluent Japanese could afford to use the first taxi service. The first commercial taxi company to be founded on the Korean peninsula was the Jeonju Taxi Company, established by Kenzo Nomura in 1919. This company began commercial operations with two American-made Dodge sedans, primarily serving Japanese residents on the peninsula. Following this, in 1920, a new taxi company called the Gyeorum Automobile Association was established, which began taxi operations with 4 luxury sedans. However, since there were no meters to calculate fares at that time, they generally operated as chartered or hourly taxis. Then, in 1926, a company named Asahi Taxi Company first introduced modern taxis equipped with meters, applying a distance-based fare system and beginning modern taxi services.